How's it going, Habibis? This is not clickbait. This is not a drill. You definitely want to make sure you pay very close attention because I'm only going to say this once. We're only going to do this once. This is an insane combo that we have just discovered. Actually, we want to thank Exquisite Quokka. I think that's how you pronounce his name, or Exquisite Quokka, in my Discord for showcasing this combo. It is probably the best combo that you could do in Master Duel today, right now, pre-new Dark Magician support, and it still feels like Dark Magician, and it utilizes some of the techniques and skills that we do when we're using the new support. It utilizes it pre-demod, which is huge. This is going off of our bread and butter combo of Magician Souls and Preparation of Rites. So once again, I want to give a big thank you to Exquisite Quokka for showing us this combo. And if you guys want to see these combos firsthand when people post them or when I talk about them in my Discord, join the Discord. The link is in the description below. It's a lot of fun. You guys get notified whenever I stream, whenever I post videos, all that good stuff. And you can talk to me, so it's fun. Be sure to join it. Now let's get into this combo. It is a very crazy one, okay? Now in this, this is the duel that I was in. I do have Diabell Star, so we're gonna be able to add the Diabell Star as well. But essentially all it does is add Ilya Sylvia at the end. So let's look at this combo. First, we start off with just Preparation of Rites and Magician Souls. Now, I will tell you guys in ahead of time, so that no one's shocked here in 10 seconds when it comes, we do use the Fiendsmith engine, but we're actually using the Fiendsmith engine to bridge into Dark Magician plays. You heard that correctly. Fiendsmith engine to bridge into Dark Magician plays. So first off here, we're gonna go into Moon of the Closed Heaven. Before that, notice I dumped Dark Magician Girl with Magician Souls effect, okay? I know my face cam's blocking, but this is Dark Magician Girl in the graveyard. That is what we sent, okay? We're gonna go into Moon. Moon is then gonna go into Requiem. Now, Requiem is gonna go into Lacrima. Anybody that plays Fiendsmith, you guys are familiar with this, even if you play against it. Now, what we're gonna do here is, because we have Diabell Star, we're gonna get a free summon off of her because we're gonna equip the Requiem. Once again, like I said, you could even pretend that this Diabell Star is not here. What I could have done here is just summon Engraver to go into Sequenche, excuse me. Okay? Now we're gonna fuse Requiem and Lacrima. You heard that correctly, to go into Fiendsmith Lacrima. Notice how we did not use Moon of the Closed Heaven because we're going to summon her, okay? We summon Moon of the Closed Heaven to go into our new big bridge piece, Abawaku the Lightless Shadow, okay? Abawaku is going to allow us to discard a card to summon the Dark Magician Girl that we sent. So this is the bridge into the Dark Magician engines, okay? So now Dark Magician Girl is going to grab Shining Sark. Shining Sark is going to grab Dark Magician, okay? We summon the DM. We are going to equip the sequence here, okay? We equip sequence to Lacrima, and then we send Dark Magician Girl as well as sequence to go into Magistus Chirozzo. I know that happened kind of quick, but we summon Magistus Chirozzo, okay? Magistus Chirozzo needs a spellcaster, Dark Magician Girl, and a Fusion Synchro Ixizar Link, and we get one for free just by equipping the sequence in our spell and trap card zone. So that allows us to go into Chirozzo. Now Chirozzo is a 4 and a 6. You guys know where this is going, hopefully. We are gonna go into Baron the Dark Magician. Baron the Dark Magician. Lacrima is going to inflict the 1200 damage now. We're going to pop the Dark Magician using Baron the Dark Magician, okay? It summons itself back. If you guys have seen my video on how to play the new support, you're gonna be familiar with this combo. I'll link it above where I go over 3 must-know combos for the new support. But like I said, this is pre-new support, so it's kind of similar. And it's very cool that we're able to do it without Dark Magician of Destruction. So anyway, Dark Magician, the Magician of Black Magic, when it comes back, it allows us to set a spell or trap. That lists Dark Magician. We do have Soul Servant in our hand, so we're going to chain it. This is going to allow us to set up our DM Triangle. Okay. So now Magician Salvation, set Eternal Soul. We're going to finally use this Deception, get rid of the Fu in our hand, go Hollow Dazamina. So basically, because we had the Diabell Star in hand, we're able to extend a little bit further, right? And also the Soul Servant allows us to set up the DM Triangle. So this is truly a crazy board that we're setting up here. And it's, obviously we're using our full hand. It's not just based off a 2-card combo. but you could set up something similar just from the Magician's Souls and Magician's Rod. So we're going to summon the Ilia Sylvia, then we're going to go Anaconda, summon Dragoon, so we have 3 Omni Negates, we have the DM Triangle. We're going to draw 2 cards here, one off of Servant and then one off of Wanted. And then remember, we have Fiendsmith follow-up for next turn. We have the Diabell Star discard, which is going to give us more follow-up. And then a Bawaku comes back. So look at this board, guys. DM Triangle. That's a disruption. 3 Omni Negates. That's 4 disruptions. A Bawaku's a pop. That's 5 disruptions. Not to mention, you have Duel. I mean, it's crazy. It's nutty what this board can do. Or what this deck can do. They are going to use Maximum Ka. I'm going to allow it. That's fine. I'm going to banish the Trudy. Get rid of the Magician's Rod. We're going to troll them now because they drew a card. And they scoop. I mean, we didn't have to use any of our disruptions. But crazy combo, guys. Be sure you learn it. Be sure you practice that. Fiendsmith bridging into not only Shining DMG, but also you can bridge into Diabell Star. And you guys will see that later. Alright, so I'm going to show you 2 versions of the deck. So the previous one that you just saw plays both Shining Stark and Diabell Star. This one plays, instead of Shining Stark, it plays Primite. And I'm going to leave it up to you guys what you want to play. I think they're both very powerful. They both have their perks. The Shining Stark one obviously feels more DM because you're playing Dark Magician Girl and Dark Magician and, you know, just has that feeling to it. But this one, with the Primite one, might be a little bit better just because Primite's that dude. So our opponent's going to Baldrake us here, right? And we're going to use this Max C. Normally I wouldn't Max C for 1 card. However, I know that I'm going to be able to extend my plays much further because of this Soul Servant. So we're going to Max C. I'm going to stack my deck with Magician Souls. They do stop my Engraver from summoning. So let me get this Magician Souls out. Let me get a body out. So we're going to go dump the DM. And the reason I dumped a DM instead of like a Diabell Star or something is because I didn't go the Moon of the Closed Heaven route for this combo. So it's a little bit harder to do a Bawaku if you're not doing it through summoning 2 bodies, right? If you are doing the Fiendsmith combo through Engraver or through Fiendsmith Sanct or Tract, whatever you choose to play, it's not as easy. You could still do it, but it's not as cost effective in terms of the bodies to summon a Bawaku. So that wasn't my plan here. I wanted to get a Dark Magician to the graveyard so that I could have this Soul Servant be live just in case. So anyway, Circle, I'm going to stack my deck here. I'm going to add Requiem, and I'm going to draw 2 cards because I like the 2 cards I see. Ether Barrel as well as Deception. So this allows us to go Asmina. This allows us to obviously go Primite. I'm going to grab Primite Roar because I think I'll be able to have a way to get it to the graveyard later on. Now we're going to go Sequanche. Sequanche is going to summon Lacrima. And then we're going to summon our Banished Engraver, and we're going to go into Kesar. Kesar is a very good monster, especially against Malice, which Malice sleeves made me think there's a Malice player. So now we summon out our Rasalago. Rasalago grabs Wanted. Rinse and repeat, guys. So the Azamina engine, it's not just when the new support comes out where the Azamina engine is very powerful for our deck. It's also with this. It's also currently today. The Azamina engine just has such a high ceiling. It allows for so much. The draw power off the Wanted in the graveyard, matching that with Soul Servant, setting up the Omni Negate. It's just super powerful. Not to mention it gives you hand advantage because you're able to keep adding the Diabell Star back. So here we're going to go Dragoon. Okay, I'm going to pop the Baldrake, take 2,500 damage. Thank you very much. I'm going to use Verte's effect to target Kesar, get Verte off the field. I'm going to discard the Roar. So now the Roar disruption is active in the graveyard. And the reason I feel comfortable doing this is because I know I'm about to draw 2 cards. Draw Soul Servant, and then draw off of Wanted. So 4 cards in hand. Baldrake disruption, Roar disruption, 2 summon negates, 2 omni negates, nib. We're chilling. So Sign Out Mining, they're going to take a -1. We're going to negate that. Then they're going to set a card. And I assume because they said, I figured they were screwed. So I was like, you know what? I'll use my omni negate here. I do negate that. And now because I got rid of Verte, Dragoon's at 5,000, which is pretty huge. We discard the Diabell Star and it allows us to get follow-up for next turn. Now they're going to go Gold Sarcophagus, which our boy Kesar will clean this up. White Rabbit Special Summon, no thank you. Negate. G to the G. So really, this deck is just like next man up mentality. Even though we were kind of in a rough situation with our opening hand, we were able to pivot pretty quickly and utilize our full hand and utilize the deck in its full capacity. Don't sleep on the Dark Magical Circle either. Allowing us to stack our deck allowed us to see what we needed and draw into those cards. And I'm really impressed with the synergy of this deck, to be honest with you. Adding the Requiem, equipping the Requiem to Lacrima, actually, and using Magician Souls to send the Requiem and the Circle after we stack the deck with Circle to get the Ether Barrel as well as the Deception. Guys, come on. This is synergy. These are engines that go together. Don't sleep on Fiendsmith. I know it's annoying. I know some people hate it, but listen, it's synergistic. It's not just there to add extra power. It is actually there to complement Dark Magician as well as to bridge into Shining Sark or Diablo Star. Come on, guys. Come on. Let's do it. Let's do it. This is how you play it. Let's go to another one. All right, so here once again, guys, we are going first. And you notice we're playing Small World here. And Small World is going to give us a lot of versatility with this deck. It allows us to basically search for just about anything in the deck. We're primarily going to be using it to search for Ether Barrel. In this particular situation, we don't need it. So what my opponent does is they Ash the Lordly Load. So we are going to get rid of the Ash Blossom to search for IOC. IOC is going to now allow us to put back the Red Eyes Black Dragon. So we are now able to still use Ref. And we are going to send Diablo Star, the Black Witch here, okay? Now, I'm going to get rid of the Lordly Load, chain Soul Servant to draw into Dark Magical Circle, and we're going to go Moon of the Closed Heaven. So you guys just saw this combo. I said you're going to see us bridge into Diablo Star later. It is currently later. We are going to be doing the exact same combo, okay? Going Fiendsmith sequence. This time, though, we did use the Engraver in the graveyard to summon itself. So we have the two bodies for sequence. We're going to go Lacrima. Lacrima is going to revive back the Moon of the Closed Heaven. It's very important that you do not shuffle this back, okay? You need the Moon so that you can go into the Link 4, a Bawaku, okay? You need a Fiend Monster as well as, it's got to be a Link 4. So now we do the same thing that we did to summon Dark Magician Girl, except this time we're going to summon Diablo Star, okay? Which, in my opinion, is a little bit more powerful. But when I go over the two decks, we'll talk about that. So then here, I'm going to go Hollowed Azamina. Hollowed Azamina is going to allow us to summon out the new Rasalago. Rasalago is going to search for our Wanted. We're going to go Verte Anaconda. You guys should be familiar with this. Hollowed Azamina chain Wanted. Summon Ilias Sylvia. Add a Diablo Star for follow-up. And then we are going to thin the deck further before we start drawing our cards. Get rid of Red Eyes, get rid of Dark Magician, get rid of Ref, just so that we have a higher chance of seeing what we want. So we're going to go Dark Magical Circle. I see a card that I like. I'm going to stack my deck. It's Maxi. And then we're going to also grab Fua here. So just discard fodder. We're going to Maxi him right off the bat. We have two Omni Negates. We have a Bawaku Pop. And they scoop it up. Okay? Despite... What did they? They ashed us and they veilered us. They veilered us and they ashed us. So we were able to play through two very powerful hand traps and still set up a very strong board. So that's just what this deck can do. That's what this combo can do. Let's go into another replay. Alrighty. So real quick, I do want to say, guys, if you want a Small World tutorial, I think Small World is a very powerful card. If you guys want a tutorial on how to play it, let me know in the comments below. I've actually discussed this on stream. I could clip that and put this full breakdown on how to play Small World. No matter what deck you're playing, Small World is huge. Small World is something that you will benefit from, so knowing how it works is key. So if you want that tutorial, let me know. So my opponent here, we're going second. They are playing Punk. They're going to Called by my Fua, so I won't be drawing any cards here. And we're going to see what the Punk guy can do here. He's going to go Jam Fever, which is a monster negate and pop. And then he goes into this guy, the Cursed Thunder God, right? You can pay 1,500 life points, destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls, or destroy all spells and traps. So that's kind of a problem. Let's see here. We got 5 gas cards in our hand. Pretty good. We're going to go Drill Beam, okay? I'm going to Drill Beam, forcing out this Cursed Thunder God because he is a problem. He's going to choose to destroy all spells and traps on my field. I'm going to give him an extra one to destroy. He's going to chain Maxi, okay? So we're going to play into the Maxi. They're going to negate and destroy my Magician's Rod. So all the disruptions on the field are gone. Now we just have to worry about the hand traps. But luckily, my opponent already took 3,000 damage, so they made it a little bit easy on me. I don't want to overextend here. They're going to ogre my Verte, no biggie. Let's go ahead and wrap this duel up with a bow. Nice Maxi, bozo. GG. Red Eyes Dark Dragoon for game. Easy claps, guys. These decks are a lot of fun. Let's go over both lists, the one that had Shining Sark and Diablo Star, and also the one that had Diablo Star and Primite. All right, Habibis, this is the goo. Crazy deck list, right? Crazy deck. So we're able to set up so much with this. We're playing the 3 Dark Magician Girls, 1 DM, 2 Shining Sark. So these are all starters. Diablo Star's a starter. And you guys obviously saw with our bread and butter of Magician Souls, Magician's Rod, and what it can get you to. 23 going second cards. All this gas, and we're still able to manage to stuff it with tons of going second cards. So now let's go look at the other version of the deck list with Primite in it. All right, so this is the Primite version. So the Primite engine is essentially replacing the Shining Sark engine. Now, with the Shining Sark engine gone, it is less consistent to set up the DM triangle, as I just referenced earlier, but it does add, obviously, a lot of other layers. So obviously, we know the Primite stuff gives us tons of disruptions, but this deck gives us more normal summons because we have the 3 Ether Barrels, which can be paired with the Magician Souls to allow us to send our Diablo Star, and it does kind of streamline our combo a little bit more because when you're playing Diablo Star and Shining Sark, and you just have Souls and Rod, you have to make a decision. Okay, do I want to bridge into Azamina or do I want to bridge into Shining Sark? This way, it's pretty straightforward. You're bridging into Diablo Star. Diablo Star is probably a little bit more powerful. If you guys are interested, like I said, let me know about Small World. I think it's a very powerful card. I think I eventually up this to 3 later on. So if you want more consistency, play this at 3. It's a great card, guys. Basically, I mean, to be honest with you, the way the deck is set up, you could almost click just about anything in your hand and get to whatever you want, whether it be Ether Barrel or Magician Souls, almost. But I do go over all that in a tutorial that I talked about on my Twitch stream. So if you guys are interested, let me know. I will post it if you think it'll be beneficial, because I think Small World is just a great card for whatever deck you're playing. Anyways, Habibis, once again, big shout out to Exquisite Quokka for this combo. Join the Discord in the future so you guys can see all that. Sub to my YouTube channel, follow my Twitch stream. All of it's in the description box below. And like this video if you like this video. I will see you guys later. Peace and love, Habibis.